Okay, with that, we're going to turn it over to you again. So at your tables, considering the sentence mentoring, the Jeff Anderson idea, or whatever you thought of around that, and some of Casey's ideas for English learners, then we're going to have you talk to what information or skills will students need to navigate this text, what implications will this have in your current instruction, and what other strategies, ideas, or resources could you use to support students with this text. All right, we'll give you 5 minutes and check in, and I'll have 3 tables share out at the end of the 5 minutes, so be thinking of something to share out. What questions might you have? All right, go ahead. Okay, if I could have us come to a good stopping point. Okay, so what tables would like to share? Three different ideas from our conversations. Okay, excellent. Nobody wants all the microphones handed to them? That's the one that's live.
That's a live one? Okay, so just an idea, maybe Casey can help with this, but would color coding help students keep track of ideas in a complex text? So maybe some kind of color coding for the third bullet point there to support students as they make meaning out of text.
Color coding is a great thing to do, and we actually took a look at color coding the health courses at KCTC. One of the first years I was here, we started color coding any procedure or vocabulary that had to do with skeletal system was all blue. Vascular system procedures were all red. But color coding complex text is also great if you have students who are then writing their own ideas or annotations, and you can start matching the color that they used about this particular idea to whatever your focus is, whether it's a grammatical focus or a meaning focus. And that way you can tie back clearly which ideas belong to which piece of the complex text. That's a really great thing to do.
Thank you.
Another thought, just on that same idea, I always hesitate, especially with our high school age kids, to get them into habits they can't do then on the test, and they can't use colors on the test. So there are specific annotation strategies where you box this and you circle that and you squiggly line this. I would argue that those would be more effective, especially for your sophomores and juniors who are headed into this test. Because if you have a kid who really, really does that well, especially your artistic type kids who like to learn with a pencil in their hand, have them hold a pencil, not even a pen, because that color can distract, or it makes their brains think differently. I'm a linear learner, it wouldn't matter a bit to me. But my daughter, 7th grader, that would throw her for a loop. She's an artistic kid. Have them do what they're gonna have to do on the test.
Okay.
I just really liked that patterns breakdown. I thought that was really, really applicable to what we do in the classroom. The SAT is going to change every single year, but there's always going to be some similar patterns in question constructions. And if the kids can recognize the patterns and how the questions are being asked in a few familiar styles, they can always break it down depending on whatever text they're looking at. So teaching them to recognize the patterns and how the question is going to be asked is a really valuable thing to do.
Okay, thank you. Great. Okay, so we're going to go into one more strategy, but before we do, because we're after lunch, we want to just give you a quick 5 minutes. We're going to be done at 2:30, so we've got just over an hour. So a quick 5 minutes if you need to use the restroom, get a quick drink. I know that's 5 minutes is tight with a larger group, but if we can try to stick to that, we'll be sure to get you out of here at 2:30. But I don't want to hold you hostage either. So take a 5-minute break, and we'll come back and get into our last strategy. Thanks.